Happy Martin Luther King Day! Let's give him a round of applause, shall we? Yay! Now, me, I don't know what that means, but it's a holiday. People get off work, people get off school. More power to you, I guess. Hey, what's up, you guys? Andre here. Today is January 17th of the new year, 2012. Actually, yesterday was Martin Luther King's Day. Today is not Martin Luther King's Day, but since this is filmed yesterday, you're seeing it today, so you get the point. I'm just not going to keep talking about it. Today's topic, in lieu of yesterday, is racism. Now, let's define what racism is, shall we? Racism is the belief that inherent different traits in human racial groups justify discrimination. Yeah, I know, it's pretty stupid. That's just how the world works. It's always worked that way. Who are we to change it now? We tried to change it and nothing really works. It's just how people are, so just let it go. And I don't mean let it go, like don't really worry about it because it's, people get hurt and killed because of it. So we can do something about it by just stop being racist, but some of us were raised that way, so it's the only way we can think, and some of us just became that way because of how we were treated. Like me, for instance. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm racist against my own color, but I'm really annoyed in depth by them. I don't know why. It's just because how I grew up, who I grew up with in school, I was treated so badly that I just grew to have a distaste for people who were just ignorant. And that mainly kind of falls on my color, and I can admit to that because I know. And don't even get me started about how many times my grandmother gets mad at me because she realizes I have more white friends than I do black friends. And it's just, white people are a little more forgiving to who I was growing up, and black people weren't. It just kind of made it worse. I mean, I really wish I could tell you what she says, but I really don't remember myself, so just take my word for it. I mean, she grew up in a different time, so I understand where she's coming from, and she doesn't understand nowadays, but she's still young enough to know that times have changed, and no one's like that really anymore, at least not outright. And don't get me wrong, Martin Luther King did a lot. His I Had a Dream speech really put standards on a lot of things and opened the minds and hearts of a lot of people. When I first got here to Georgia, Atlanta was the first thing I saw, and I just remembered everything I learned in school about the guy and all I read about him and how much of an impact he made and how he was killed. It was really sad, and don't get me wrong, I really wish he was still around to see what he did accomplish for the world, but sadly he did not live that long. Rest in peace and okay. But I myself grew up in a different time where times have changed. It's not as bad as it used to be, so I don't really understand what people before my generation went through. So when they say stuff like, "Oh, you don't understand," you're right, I don't understand. So you can stop trying to shove it down my throat because I'm not gonna get it. It's just not that way to me or the rest of my generation for that matter, and I'm speaking for all of us. But the fact is that we learned in school, the public school system, that it did happen, and there's still people around like that. I live in the South, where it is kind of still active, but they're a little more hidden than they used to be. According to a special friend of mine, where I wanted to move in Athens, there is a active chapter still there of the. Just look that up in sign language if you don't know what letter this is, and I'll just probably put it right here so you understand. But to me, that kind of does not matter. I mean, it matters because it's fear for my safety, but it doesn't that I'm like, oh, they're everywhere, I'm going to get hunted and hung from a tree, because I don't like that anymore. I would like to commemorate Malcolm X too in this video because he did the same thing, but a little more rational, not rational, but a little more of a dangerous side of it. And they both died very horrible ways, don't get me wrong, but they both deserve the respect for what they've done for us and for trying to get the races back into one instead of it being divided. And god damn it, I love my white friends. My white friends are awesome. They're the only friends I really have. I don't really have many black people. Fuck it, I've never even slept with a black woman and I don't ever plan to. But that's just how I think, and I thought that was funny, so you better have left. But anyway, that was today's video, touching on racism and to say happy MLK Day because he deserved it. So please observe that day for us and pay your respects. But anyway, go check out yesterday's video and Friday's video, and come say hi on Twitter and follow me, and let's talk so I can put you in Follow Friday this Friday. So people can talk to you and talk about how awesome I am. In Facebook. That kind of worked. In Facebook, go check out Facebook, and the link's right there. So just put that in your address bar and go to that and click like and tell your friends about it. And as always, Love sometimes, like MLK always said. Laugh often, like I always say. You'll live forever, even though it's not what all of us want. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.